What is up, my friends? Your weekend has officially started and you are very welcome along to Friday's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Today I'm going to be discussing Liverpool's interest and reports linking us with a move for Nico Williams. We'll also speak about Morgan Rogers because apparently we're interested in him as well. We'll take you through Arne Slot's pre-Manchester United press conference and what the gaffers had to say and what we can expect and who's fit and who's not fit for the weekend. And I'll also give you some information on a really interesting podcast episode on Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett's podcast, where he has the great Jurgen Klopp on. And honestly, the list of questions that Stephen asked him, I couldn't have handpicked better myself. So we'll take you through a little bit of that and a few other bits and pieces. As always, folks, we want to know your thoughts, so please do let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on this video if you happen to enjoy it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So, Sunday, our last ever stage show. We are going to be at the Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool. The venue are also going to be showing the game beforehand. So if you want to get there early, enjoy the game, and then come and see us for the last time, you can get your tickets priced at just £15 with the QR code there on the screen. There's about 20 tickets left from the best of my understanding, and all of our revenue from it we are donating to Joe Lewis's GoFundMe for his wheelchair basketball chair. Right, let's get stuck into the news. So, as I mentioned, Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO podcast, one of the biggest podcasts in the UK, sat down with Jurgen Klopp and he listed off some of the questions. Now, Stephen has been kind enough to grant us early access to the podcast to have a look at it, obviously, as Liverpool fans, and give a bit of a reaction to it. But I wanted to just take you through some of the questions that Stephen is going to ask Jurgen, or has asked Jurgen, because honestly, if I was to sit down, I couldn't write better questions myself. Not that I'm trying to compare myself to Stephen Bartlett, but you get where I'm going. I'm a Liverpool fanatic and he's nailed it with this one. So these are some of the topics that they discussed on the 3-hour-long podcast, which is coming out on Monday. What really happened behind the scenes to encourage Jurgen to leave? Would he have stayed if he knew that Liverpool were going to win the Premier League and Manchester City were going to struggle? The job offer he once got from Manchester United and the exact reason why he turned it down. His relationship with Michael Edwards and who was responsible for transfers at Liverpool. Why Darren was angry at him at the end of the season. The importance of his aura and heavy metal football, and lots more. So we'll give you a reaction to it, but if you want to check it out yourself on Monday, you can check out Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO podcast with Jurgen Klopp. Right, transfer talk. Let's get stuck into Liverpool's interest in Nico Williams. Reports in Spain suggest that the Reds are eyeing up potentially a €100 million move for Spain and Athletic Club Bilbao forward Nico Williams. You know I'm a huge fan of Nico Williams. I've said it for a couple of years now. I don't think we will see him at Liverpool personally, but if the interest is there and we are looking for, as they say, a Galactico forward, I would be very, very happy to be wrong. This piece here said, Nico Williams will complete Liverpool's Galactico front line alongside Isak, Salah, Wirtz, Williams and of course Ekitike. They go on to say that the goal is to close the deal before the 2026 World Cup, when they believe his value could then skyrocket afterwards. So fingers crossed they're right, because I'd be over the moon if Liverpool signed Nico Williams. But I want to know your thoughts, folks, so let me know in the comment section. Sticking with transfers, we're going to go straight over to Fakahes now, so pinch us all time. But they've said Liverpool have joined the queue of suitors competing for the sought-after signature of Morgan Rogers. Villa are expected to demand at least £70 million. Now, look, first thing that pops into my mind is, where would we play him? Do we need him? And I keep coming back to the answer being no. I don't think that we do need him. I rate him as a player, of course I do. He's had a very good couple of seasons with Villa there. But 70 million quid for a position that we're not really struggling in my opinion? Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think I'm wrong. If so, let me know in the comments. But for me, I think a defensive midfielder, certainly a centre-back, they'd be priority areas for me, ahead of looking to bring in another attacking player. And that isn't a tricky winger like the likes of Nico Williams. So let me know your thoughts on that one. Florian Plettenberg said, rumours linking Liverpool with Nico Schlotterbeck are wide of the mark, which is kind of contrasting to Christian Falk's report yesterday, who said that Liverpool were certainly interested. We know that Bayern Munich are going to be there or thereabouts, and of course Borussia Dortmund want to extend Schlotterbeck, but haven't had any joy with that one yet. So let me know your thoughts on that one. There's no doubt most of us Liverpool fans feel like we need a centre-back, and we need one as quickly as we can when the January window opens. What's going to happen with Mark Gay? Don't know at this point, to be honest. But I do know we're going to be short as the season goes on. So if we could bring one in early January, whoever the gaffer wants, that'd be fine with me. But I do think we need to get one. Now, some updates from Arna around fitness of a couple of players ahead of the weekend, and there's some good news here. So, about Ryan Gravenberch, the gaffer said, Ryan is completely fit, although we still have to train twice, but if you ask me now, he's completely fit. We're in a good place with the Dutch national team. Ronald Koeman can make a decision to either play Reinders or Ryan Gravenberch. So we played them both for 45 minutes. Then he went on to speak about Ibrahim Konate and said Konate has come back to us and started his sessions again and is expected to train with us today. Still doesn't answer the question though, should he start? For me, it is a genuine question right now. Look, I know the alternative, Joe Gomez, the one game we've seen from this season wasn't really Joe at his best, but we know what Joe's capable of. Let me know in the comments what you guys would do. Would you continue on with Konate and hope that he can settle down? Or would you give him a rest, bring in Joe Gomez, which I would for what it's worth, but I do want to know your thoughts. So lastly, Jamie Carragher's written a piece for The Telegraph about Mohamed Salah, and he said, don't write Mohamed Salah off yet, especially with Manchester United in town. His current form is a sign of Father Time catching up with him. Slot needs to work out and decide how long this team can be built around the Egyptian. He also said, Salah is off form, the goals have dried up, but he does not look the same player as last season. We discussed the numbers last night, just 4 open play goals in his last, I think it was about 20 games for Liverpool, so not the numbers we're used to from the great man, but I'm not at a point yet where I'm ready to write him off, but I do think Father Time, as well as the changing of the guard in the Liverpool's front line and a few other factors, have probably added to the slower start to the season than we're used to from Mo. The former Liverpool defender also said that Salah's evolving role and a tactical reshuffle under Arne Slot could signal a gradual shift in how Liverpool use the forward. He said, when all sides committed to that contract, there must have been an understanding that the days when Salah is a guaranteed starter in every game would come to an end over the course of the next 2 years. That makes sense to me. Look, when you get to that level, Mohamed Salah, Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, whatever grade you'd like to put in, you do have to understand you're dealing with a strong-minded person. But they don't want to be dropped. They want to play every minute of every game. They don't get to where they are without that drive. But this is where the manager comes in. And it will have to be taken out of Mo's hands and maybe other players over the course of Arne Slot's time at Liverpool, that you have to be used sparingly. You have to be used in the right moments. And for us, it should be about keeping Mo at his peak and using him to the very best of his ability. And if that involves a little rest and a little extra breather here or there, if it's for the good of the team, I think the manager has to make those tough decisions. Carragher also said it'll be too quick to write the 33-year-old star off yet, describing him as having the Cristiano Ronaldo mentality and a kryptonite effect against Manchester United, a side that he scored 16 goals against. Yeah, he does love a goal against United, doesn't he? So look, folks, that is it from me for now. But I'll be back here tonight at 8:45 for the last Late Night Agenda from me until Monday, because I'll be over in Liverpool for the weekend. Don't worry though, Connor will be taking you to the watch-along on Sunday, starting from 4 p.m. Hope you can join us for it. And I'll catch up with you on Monday if I don't see you this evening. Much love. Have a great weekend. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.